A couple of days ago, Fedora released the 40th version of their distribution. For me, that's a good reason to make a video about it and show you all about this awesome distribution. And in this specific video, I will look at the change set, look at the features, and after that I will show you a couple of demos of the new features, showcasing Gnome 46 and also KDE Plasma 6. If you're interested in that, stick around. Without further ado, let's dig into the video. And there we have it, Fedora 40, it's your operating system. Now let's have a look at the change set, and I will touch up the points real quick. So Plasma 6 is a big one. It has been quite a while since a major release of Plasma has been done, and Fedora is one of the first. So definitely a nice evolution to see in the KDE Plasma space. Podman 5, if you don't know what Podman is, it's supposed to be a drop-in replacement for Docker. And I must say, yeah, it works great for the most part, but it's not as full-featured as Docker is. But still, if you have simple containers, and then it's very suitable. Alright, so they also removed some packages, removed OpenSSL 1. That was very old, so good that they remove it. Also Delta RPMs, and Delta RPM, there was a feature that was supposed to save you some bandwidth, just to calculate the deltas between the RPMs. But in the end, I read up a little bit about this, and it didn't work that great. That's what I read, at least. So they decided to remove it altogether. And yeah, just reduce some complexity in the code base. Python 3.7 is retiring, so that's good. DNF 5 and Fedora 40 is built with DNF 5. And default DNF 4 is activated on your distribution, but you can easily enable DNF 5 if you prefer to do so. Kiwi Image Builder is used for building cloud images, and they have some various runtime updates. So SQL Alchemy, Golang, Java, and Ruby 3. That is a change set. Let's talk about the features. So they have some AI advancements. So they're shipping PyTorch with CPU processing enabled, but not GPU enabled yet. They're working on it. This is just the first version. So ROC M6 is the latest release of AMD software optimized for AI and HPC workload performance on AMD GPUs. So, but they haven't combined the PyTorch with ROC M. So maybe they will do that in the future. It doesn't say that. Individual stable MAC address assignment for Wi-Fi. What I know is it's for security. Retaining stability. The MAC address is, I think, masked or something, and they randomize that for your own security, so not to leave a fingerprint in public Wi-Fi, for example, but still retaining the stability you would want from a Wi-Fi network. Alright, Wayland is shipped. Wayland is shipped by default. There's still a way to go back to backwards compatible with Xorg if you want. I will not show that in this video, but the Wayland is delivered by default. So about the bootable IoT containers, I'm not an expert in this topic, so let me just read the text real quick. Fedora IoT uses OS3 to provide an OS suitable for edge and IoT use cases. OS3 native container or bootable containers are a new interesting mechanism for both building and delivering OS3 content. This brings this initiative to the Fedora IoT to enable other means of users consuming Fedora IoT. CentOS Stream 10 and RHEL 10 branch point, meaning Fedora 40 is the branch point for these distributions. So they will branch Fedora 40 when it's stable, and then eventually as a downstream will be these distributions that will create that distribution based on Fedora 40's features. So it's a good milestone in that regard as well. And then I will also touch upon Gnome 46 and KDE Plasma 6, and they are released 20th of March this year and 28th of February this year. That's it, let's dive into the demos. Let's look at Gnome 46 first. You get the Gnome 46 out of the box with Fedora 40. Let's look at the features. So the search feature has been updated. So yeah, you can search across the whole file system, but there's a little caveat there. So let's say you have a document here, test.txt, and normally you can go here, test, and then you should click, go file name, for example, test, and then you have that test.txt. But the file system itself, of course, and that's, let me show it in the other view here. So I was just searching in home demo, and within there I could search, of course. But now you maybe want to search in other folders. For example, user, share, applications could be, because let's say you have the icon here, right? And then you search like a shortcut, starting an application. You have these desktop icons, and then you could, if you're here, Firefox, search Firefox, you can find it here. But now I already know that it's in this folder, right? So user share applications. So what did I do? Let's go back to the home folder, because if you search now for Firefox, of course, you will not find it. No results found. But they updated the feature, so search everywhere, you can do that, and also triggered by this, and Control-Shift-F also triggers it. And now it's finding it. User share. It's finding that. But be aware that search settings, I've added the folder here. So I removed the folder now. Close. Let's do that again. Firefox. Yeah, now it's cached probably. Give a quick reboot to this VM, and I'll show it again. Okay, back after a fresh reboot. Let's try it again. Oops, Firefox. So now it's cleaned the cache. And then let's add it again, the location. So I previously added it here, share applications. So here you can go user share and applications. For example, you can also do user share, why not? So share is in there. And let's try that again. Yeah, so immediately it's quite fast. I'm guessing it indeed caches it in the session. So this is how it works. All right, that was the search feature. So let's go to the next point, notification makeover. And for that, so it will show the application name. Show the application name instead of just showing the notification. So for that I've dunstify, and that's part of dunst, and you can use it as well. Test hello there. So here's the notification. Just now test hello there. Let's repeat a couple of them. And see they are separated, and application name is in there as well. So it's more clear and concise. Okay, improved settings. And to be honest, I am not a regular user of Gnome, but I used to use it years ago. So for me, I had to look up the changes, what has been changed. And I have two VMs. Let me start the other one. Other one is started. Let me switch in OBS, do a little trick. Hyper-V, double click. Click the other one. Okay. So now this is Gnome 39. And settings. So what they did is basically a couple of things. They reordered the items, of course. And they removed the sub group. So if you click here, now you see all the apps here. And then you need to go back. But that's not consistent because before it showed the whole content here, if you get what I mean. So I'll show it in a minute again in the updated Gnome. That's more consistent now. And they also grouped the privacy and system. They put a system here. For example, about. You go to system and then about in the new one. And they updated the icons. That's also, nicer icons. So not with the dark, not filled, but outlined icons. So let me switch back. Oops, let me switch back. All right, now I'm back on 40. And maybe you can just see what I mean. So the icons are different and you don't have that subgroup of applications. For example, system now, then about is here. So it's more consistent. So this stays. That's maybe the best way to to put it, by lack of better words. And they regrouped it and they organized it a little bit better. Yeah, so that's the main thing, I think. Now what I still miss, and that is that you need to install tweaks. That's a separate application still. And also extensions. Oops, extensions. It's also a separate application. So it would be great if they just bundle it. So you don't, as a new user, don't have to search for these applications. It makes a whole lot of sense in my opinion. But you can install, for example, Dash2Dog. I installed Dash2Dog. I like that extension a lot. And this is the way to do it. So because all the nitty gritty, I would say, so the themes and it's in the tweaks is more convenient to switch. Let's say you go to right click, small sidestep here. Then you of course have the appearance. I looked over it a couple of times. Here you have the style, and then you can toggle it here, but that's not the same as choosing a GTK theme. There's a theme, of course, underlying, but if you want to change that, then you need to go into tweaks. Let's say here at Weda. Yeah, that's the only one, right? So with high contrast, you also have an. Actually, don't see the theme here now. It's interesting. Maybe they disabled that. Entirely. I'm not sure. Maybe I have to look it up. Anyway, this is digressing. To go back to the light mode again. And of course, you also see the wallpaper. Wallpaper changes when you switch it. It's very nice, good functionality. Close. All right, let's go to the next one. Performance. That's something. I can say this is a VM. Of course, it feels fast, but I cannot say for sure if it's really sped up. I don't know. They did some improvements. For example, this grids to lists, but I think if you just have empty folders and don't have a lot of items, difficult to judge. So maybe I will get back on that later. But that's it. And of course, the new icons and stuff, they all look good. And let me show you this, and then I will switch back to the other So also checked in the GNOME release notes. Yeah, of course, there's not a huge amount of new icons, for example. There's, they mentioned some polish effort, improve settings, extensive UI modernization and refinement. To be honest, I don't see a whole lot has been changed. Yeah, so maybe there are not big differences, but I am comparing 45.5 to 46. So the changes are, I think, subtle, or like in the settings app, you have the other icons, right? What I just showed you. (46.1). All right. So and the other two, yeah, the dynamic display, VRR. So basically this G settings set variable refresh rate. And if you set that setting, you will see this toggle after you log out and log back in again. That's very important. So you can apply the toggle and then set it. And then you see refresh rate variable should be there. But you do need to have a display that supports this, obviously. And on Plasma, this was already implemented long ago. So you can also set it here. KDE Plasma. And then RDP. So they mention a remote desktop protocol. That is, so let's do connect. And of course you have the RDP localhost 3389. I think it will not show too much. So I'm RDPing to my own localhost now, 3389. That's that. Grab TCP. So these are open. 3390. Let's quit. And a new one. Localhost. Oops. Localhost. Demo. Yep, there you go. It's Inception. Yeah, so be careful, I think, with these settings. Let me show you a system. You have here, you have remote desktop. You have two buttons here, right? Desktop sharing, remote login. And yeah, as you can see here, 3390. So I clicked on this, desktop sharing, and I also enabled remote login. Yeah. So it can be a little bit confusing between these two options. Because 3389, that's the default. Use a remote desktop app to connect to using the RDP protocol. They specifically mention RDP protocol. And here, this is the 3390, second one. Also remote desktop using the RDP protocol. So, I checked this. And in the older version, Fedora 39, it works a little bit different. Let me switch to that. Okay, settings. And then you go into remote. I think it's here. It's called sharing. Yeah, sharing. So sharing. You have the remote desktop. Here. I've enabled that. But you see MSRD. So that's different, right? But in the new version, they do have implemented RDP protocol, but they still have the old way of connecting. That makes it a little bit confusing. Sorry. So, but that, yeah, good that they try to adhere to the protocols, but it makes it a little bit confusing. I think remote login is the real RDP. And yeah, that's it for GNOME. So let's have a look at KDE Plasma. There you go. So the overview effect that has been updated. See how you trigger that again. I looked it up. Meta W. Yeah, there it is. Okay, looks good. Let's open up a couple of windows. Move that to a different. Oh, of course. Yeah, here. Plus the virtual desktop. Nice. Let's see if we can drag it. Yeah, there you go. Add new desktop. Put send this to this. So if you do Meta W, then you can use arrow keys to navigate, and maybe also let's do settings. Then you search your applications, so that makes sense. At least, let's see, Meta W, Firefox is, let's go here. Firefox open. Windows, yeah. You have it here, you have application, and then also window. Go to there. Okay. Nice one. That's one. And let's move to the next. So HDR. My laptop that I tested it on has indeed HDR, VESA 400. And you can set the setting for HDR here, enable HDR. But if you look at it, it looks very washed out. Very strange. I did not expect this. So yeah, I'm not really sure if it's working, but they said it's one step towards full HDR support. So yeah, we'll see in the future. All right, so some colorblind correction filters. Color blindness correction here. And then you can tweak that. So about the color blindness tool, I've searched for a website and they have some kind of simulation. And I'm guessing this is also the way you could test it. And of course I've just configured it. And if you enable the effect, click and then struggling. Okay, now I have it. Apply, and then you indeed see a change. But I'm not sure if that's 100% correct, but I don't see too much of a... Yeah, this does indeed change a lot. All right, so let's go to the next one. Modern floating taskbar. Yeah, now it's not floating, and that's because we have a couple of windows here. Now you did see it float, at least. I hope so. Let's do that again. So it adjusts itself, and now it's floating again. So indeed, this is changed. And also here, this is also new. For example, the position, if you click on it, then it's more easy. I think this is a huge improvement for touchscreen users as well. If you just tick on it, tick again. If you get what I mean. So I guess you can also still drag it. Let's try that. Right click. No. I don't see that you can drag it now. So I think this works better. Oh no, it crashed, I think. Edit. There. Okay. Yeah, that's the taskbar. Let's go to the next one. The Breeze, of course, Breeze theme. Yeah, you really need to look carefully what has been changed. That's good, I think, because yeah, Breeze is a good theme. Very nice default theme. So I cannot point out the differences, if I'm honest, at this moment. NeoChat is included. Let's check NeoChat. There you go. Welcome. So I will set it up and come back. So that has been set up. It was quite easy. And yeah, you have the client here. Quite basic, but I think I like it. Yeah, so normally you have all the join and part messages, but this is quite, yeah, less distracting, I would say. Yeah, and the next one is a nice one. The cube is back. All right, so for the cube, go to settings and search for desktop effects, and list should appear cube. Search for it. You can then enable it and hit apply. For this to work, you need to have a graphics card, obviously. But now it's not yet being triggered, so you need to add some virtual desktops. If you had a Windows C, you will trigger the cube effect. So let's add some virtual desktops. At least 3 you need to have. Do Windows C again. There you go. Now you have the cube effect at your disposal. Have fun. All right, let's move to the next one. And yeah, there's some sound. So let me play the new ocean sound theme. And let me play the old sound theme. Before that I'll change the volume. And brightness, check. Give sound, no. We all know that. So I think I'm gonna miss that disk sound, to be honest. Let's close up this video. If you reached it all the way to the end, thanks a lot. Really means a lot to me. So to summarize this video, I showed you quite a lot of features from Fedora 40. I think it's a very good step again from Fedora. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.